culture, for the culture, for the culture, 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 for the culture.
Bam, bam, bam. It's your boy. Wait, I'm doing something different. What is it? What's up, everybody? There it is. It's your boy, Tamel Cuts, proud owner of Uppercuts Barber Shop.
Hey, what up, y'all? This is Lonnie Horn, proud owner of World Class Faders and World Class Stylist Barbershop and Salon.
Hey, you're watching another episode of For the Culture Podcast going down every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And like my guy Rick would say, the clubhouse is officially open,
Jack. Yes. All right, man. Ray's Barbershop. What up, Vince? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to my mama. Happy Tuesday. And last but not least, happy Tuesday to my partner, T. Melly Mel.
T-Man, that's me, y'all. If y'all didn't know, that's me.
We've been rocking, boy. We've been moving. We've been moving, T. People can't imagine what we've been doing.
Welcome to the clubhouse, Tati Love, my peeps. Yes, we are. Yes, we love you. Yes, we love you too, Ray.
Yes, love y'all, man. Definitely appreciate y'all, man. And I'm just so excited to get this show going. I wasn't here last week, and y'all did an amazing job, man. What's up?
I didn't tell you. I told you offline, but I'm gonna tell you again online. After that show, if anybody don't know, we had Uchindi. He's known for helping people open up barber schools across the country. I ran out of this room, I ran straight into my wife. I was like, "We opened up a barber school." She said, I got a lot of stuff on my plate. I said, do you want stuff on your plate or do you want to empty your plate so we can live?
Uchindi will do that to you. Uchindi will do that to you, man. He did that to us a year ago, and he just makes it possible the way he breaks it down. You know, it seems so unfathomable, but he makes it that, man. So yeah, y'all did a hell of a job. I'm glad to be back. I love that when we're gone, we got amazing friends that can fill in and keep the quality of the show going. I couldn't wait. I got off stage. I was like, man, I'm going to watch the show. So I got to go watch it, and it was actually fun to watch it from that perspective, man, like, you know, from the audience perspective. All right, man, we got a lot to do. And
shout out Tara the Barber for stepping in.
Man, big shout out to Tara the Barber. That was my whole purpose of what I was saying. He did a hell of a job, but I don't think I mentioned his name.
I got you, brother.
So thank you, man. Let's talk about it, man. I want to see what you got on. You look like you got some cool stuff on today. So let's talk about this here apparel of the week, though.
Don't give me some apparel music, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know what, guys? We have a lot of people in our industry. We have some very very massive people that are doing big things, and then we have big people that's doing big things but have little statues. So this is a big shout out to Jack of all fades, one of the littlest big influencers in our industry. I love Jack. It's like I'm hanging out with like one of my kids every time I'm around Jack. Jack is nothing but love happening over here. I just love him.
Tamel is an idiot, y'all.
I don't know where I got this hat from. Every piece of material I know, but I don't know if this even was at a barber event, but I like it because it says don't block your blessings.
I feel like I was with you when you got that. I feel like I was with you when you got that.
Where I got it.
But it's cold though. Y'all, my apparel of the week. Starting at the crown. We got that barber love. It's just how I felt, man. We just been doing a lot of that barber love movement lately, and it's just how I felt today. And I've been rocking it since this morning. I didn't even just put it on for the show. It's what I'm in today. And then on that chest, because I've been every day I'm hustling. Hey, don't underestimate the hustlers. Don't underestimate hustlers. Duh. That's our homegirl, our barber sis. What'd you say?
be in here too if you would have said it wrong, which you did. You corrected yourself. Right?
Oh yeah, I got it. She done corrected me many a time, so I know what I'm doing now. But yeah, man, that's our apparel of the week. We're super blessed to receive apparel from people all over this country. Some and this is our way of just showing love and giving them some exposure. And if you want to mail some largest. 2 largest.
Y'all remember a couple months ago? We about XL. Comfortably. Yeah.
We back in the large game again, y'all. We've been walking and working and trimming some fat down on them plates. So yeah, if y'all wanted us to support anything, we will be more than honored. And the address is 8011 White Avenue, just like the one that's going across your screen at the bottom. But we got a lot to do tonight, so I'm really excited for T to show y'all who we are working with and who we be rolling with.
Got you, big dog.
Vitano, vetted talent now. The first platform built to let barbers show their skills, personality, and presence through video. And for shop owners, it's a game changer for hiring. No guessing, no wasted interviews. Just real barbers showing real work. Before they walk in your shop, every profile is ID verified. Barbers get discovered. Shops build better teams. Everybody wins. Vitano. Skills speak louder than words. Download now. Available on all platforms.
All your favorite barbers love it.
I love it.
This is the Bopper Digital Business Card.
Barbers! It's 2025, bro. We got the digital business cards now. Not only do they work amazing, they also make you look cool. They help you stand out, bro. When you go up to somebody, you have them tap your card like this, and then all your contact information pops right up. Boom. Whatever you want them to see. Right? I have my websites and stuff all set up, but whatever you want them to see pops right up on their phone. How dope is that?
Do it proper. Get Bopper.
Barbers Illustrated Magazine, the #1 magazine built for the craft. Featuring the freshest cuts, top barbers, tool reviews, and real industry stories. Get the magazine your shop should have had yesterday. Print subscriptions just $9.99. Digital subscriptions only $3.99. Single print issues $12.99 and digital single issues $4.99. Tap in today and level up your barbershop game. Barbers Illustrated Magazine, join the movement. Welcome to the world of barbering.
Okay, hold on. I got from the control booth, I was told that my mic is low and hollow.
Well, you work on that while we talk. All right, y'all. Those are the people we rock and roll with. We are so super blessed, man. Our sponsors are more like partners. We partner with a lot of people. On paper, it may be sponsorship, but we really, really do partner. Barber Illustrated they have turned into our rock and roll partners. We rock and we roll together, man. So much growth happening. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Barbers Illustrated. There's some amazing articles in there. Some y'all need to go back and get. There's some fire ones.
Hey, I don't know who is doing their cover design, but they last book that came out with original Barbara doll on the cover, and her amazing picture that she had was just something different, bro.
Bananas, man. Bananas. So last weekend was Valentine's Day weekend, y'all. I hope y'all had a good time. It landed on a Saturday. Man.
Yes, it was. Lon, you want to ask me what I did last weekend? Lon?
I'm about to in 1 minute.
I'm never.
He thought about it. It was cracking though, and I wanted to say I hope y'all did something. I hope you did something significant for yourself or for others. Just like celebrated some love. People find things to say like, well, I do this every day. I don't want to do it for this holiday. And I'm like, it don't mean don't do it every day, but there's nothing wrong with being, just celebrating it one day specifically. So
No.
yeah.
No.
And it don't matter if you was with your mama, your kid, your man, your lady, whoever. I hope y'all did something cool. What'd you do, T, for Valentine's?
Hold on, it's a propaganda. It's all set up to make us spend more damn money on the ones that we love and spend money on for 364 days out of the year. I ain't with it. I can't stand it. But let me tell you what I did for her. I did something that took some thought and I put it into it. So I went to the store and I bought a basket and I went around the store and I bought all these things that I know that she likes. Bubble bath. She loves that Dr. Telia. Y'all know who it is. That the soap, the Epsom salt, smelly Epsom salt, all the good things she like, candles and it's all that stuff, and packed it in a nice big old bag. Went by Sephora, bought her a gift card so she can go get the perfume she wants. Then I came home and I made her. She loves steak and lobster with baked potato on Valentine's, so I did that.
Okay, T, that's pretty. You're a sweet guy.
Yeah.
If y'all think T is sweet, put a heart or something up there. Let him know that y'all celebrating his sweetness.
Yes.
Valentine's was beautiful to me. I'm with you though. More than you know, I'm actually with you. When it comes to the commercializing of holidays, I'm like, it's whack. But I do like the thought of excuse me, intentionally focusing on something and celebrating it. So to me, it's all about the agreement with the person and how you do it. I've learned that you don't have to fall into the pit of spending the money you don't have just to say you did something, and don't compare yourself to what other people spending. So I enjoyed my Valentine's, and I'm going to put this one up right here. The first person I enjoyed was my mama. Had a great time with an amazing and handsome son. And I had a great time with an amazing and beautiful mama. And we enjoyed lunch. We went for a nice walk downtown. And we just appreciated each other's company, man. We really didn't even plan it big. The biggest plan was just to go do some togetherness. I went out with my lady. I went out with my daughter. Oh, and I took roses to all the ladies in the family. I rode my motorcycle around and got me a bouquet of roses, just dropped them off. A lot of people are alone that day. And you know, it's just nice to be thought of. So I did that. And at the shop, I bought a rose for every lady at both of our shops, and then treated all the men to pizza because I wanted the men to know we could celebrate our love too. And they was like, that pizza line, hey, I love you, bro. They was like, hey, that's dope, man. You saved the day, because it was cracking in there. So, had a good time for Valentine's Day, man.
Shout out to all the single people that got a chance to love on themselves on Valentine's Day.
For sure.
I think that's important too.
For sure. I'll take that, baby. She said, I won today. Yeah. Now we got a little time, but we got some things coming up. I think we should really, really, really make sure that this is drilled in people's head, because it's only weeks away and we ain't got time to talk about everything that's coming up, but we got time to talk about one thing.
All right, let me set the scene. Let me do that for everybody. Y'all don't mind. Ooh, you want more of that? Well, here I go, acting too much. I'm doing too much. Here we go.
You know what time it is, Sacramento? The Cap City Showcase is going down Sunday, March 15th from noon to 4 p.m. at Federico Beauty Institute. Some of the biggest names in the industry dropping straight gems. An educated person is dangerous. I'm elevated and ranked. I'm telling you right now, you don't want to miss this.
Please, God, protect me on this holy mountain.
Well. Wasn't that so? Y'all probably want to watch it twice.
Well, y'all, this this flyer, as dope as it is, I think we should be clear on what this is. This is our Cap City Showcase. It's coming up March 15th. This is a day of education for the beauty industry. And then it's an evening of partying after studying and learning a whole lot at our hair jam. So March 15th is going to be a real epic day. And you might have been seeing 360 Jeezy on a lot of stuff, but that's because we are not hiring this guy no more. We ain't paying to bring this guy out. We have partnered with 360 Jeezy. It's been an honor, y'all. We've been we're on a 23 school tour right now, and we are hitting schools every week promoting this show. And students have been loving the visits. We've been having a good T. What kind of time we've been having?
A funky good time. Yeah, a funky good time. It's just a joy to bring somebody like Jeezy around to these schools and see the excitement that it automatically uplifts these students. And there's kids that was running up to him like, "Man, I was watching you before I even gotten to Barber College."
Yeah,
bro. I'm just honored to meet you. And he's so humble, such a humble guy.
Yeah.
So for anybody that might watch this before our show, guys, just let you know that if you do get a class ticket, you can go to capcityshowcase.com, get a combo ticket, which will get you into both the events. But if you only want to go to the class, or if you do get a combo ticket, both of those come with a swag bag valued at $75. It is sponsored by Urgansky. You would get 6 of his amazing products in that bag that you guys will be able to use. So.
Yes. And Moeller, yes, we will be. We're going to be hitting the Bay Area starting the next next 2 weeks. We did Sacramento, then we did Stockton area today. We did Concord, Pittsburgh. We've been moving. So I wanted to make sure that we kind of locked in a few things before we solidified it. So we planted some seeds, but now this week we'll be locking that in. So can't wait to get out that way. Okay, guys, we do this because we want to bring people in that can, really, really share things that can help you along the way with your journey. So I think it's time to bring in our Gizest.
It's my pleasure. You go ahead and give us that. You know what you do.
Oh, we good? We good? Okay, well, let's do it.
Yeah, we good.
All right, y'all. As y'all know, we get to travel around this world, meet some of the coolest people in and out of this industry. I got to say, on both sides now. Tonight's guest, man, this is an industry educator with deep experience in barber licensing and curriculum, former owner and operator of a successful barber school. He treated us like gold on our trip to Tennessee. I mean, we got that true hospitality for him. I can't wait to ask the restaurant that we ate at because I can't remember. He's known for his knowledge, first approach, and industry advocacy. He's a respected voice for barbers, students, instructors, and shop owners. This guy, he doesn't just talk about education. He teaches systems that helps people succeed. I could keep going on and on and on, but I think it'll be best to bring him in and ask more information directly from the man himself. I'm talking about Thomas James, a.k.a. Mr. Stateboard.
What's up, my guy? Oh, you got to unmute yourself. There you go. Nope.
We just leave the applause going.
What about that? Can you hear me now?
There we go. There we go.
Awesome, man. Thank you guys so much for having me, man. I feel blessed and honored simultaneously to just be in the presence of you guys, man. Thank you guys so much. Seriously.
It's an honor, man. It's good to be here with you.
Hit him with the question, Long.
Yeah, man. We love to ask why barbering. I will switch gears a little and say, why barber schooling?
Okay, cool. Great question. So as far as barbering is concerned, my grandfather actually got me into this. He created one of the first black barbershops in Rutherford County, in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, to be exact, for people not knowing where that is. That's south of Nashville. So if you know anything about Nashville, Tennessee, or if you just know about Tennessee in general, hit Interstate 24, go east, give it about 25 minutes and you'll hit it. And the reason why I even mentioned that it's that he opened up the first black barbershop is because during the time that he was building this thing out with his hands, it was during the time of segregation. So like, that's why I always put emphasis on that. You could only imagine, a man with a family, my dad, my aunt, my grandmother, which is his wife, going through whatever the trying times were back then. And then compound that with, a strict race divide, right, in Tennessee, in the South. And he still, after being in the Army, he was a drill instructor there. He was still like, hey, like this is the way, So he introduced our family, our lineage into the shop, and just into the barber life, so to speak. And then after my service in the military, came back home. And then actually the guest that you guys had on last week, Chin. So like, he was my first. I went through his school for barbering. I went to Georgia Career Institute for cosmetology, but through barbering, I was with Chin, and actually he gave me my first instructor job. So like, it was one of those things. Yeah, I worked for Chin for like 7 years. So, like Chin and I, we'll say it all the time, like, though he's a mentor to me and, I know his life story, he knows my family, I know his, I still consider him a friend. Right. So, I mean, yeah, he is a friend of mine. That's why, I was chiming in so much last week because, everything he says is golden. Everything he says is truth, whether you like it or not. Honesty is not a thing to where, you can claim that he is not, and that's Chin in a nutshell, man. You get what you get. So, just under his wing, under his tutelage, education is where it's at. The same thing that I tell my students. I let them know, like, hey, barbering is so wide open. You find you a lane and run it, So for me, that lane has and is education. I feel as though I'm doing okay in it. I have no plans of getting out anytime soon.
So for people that weren't watching last week, when he mentions Chin's thing is moving people into owning barber schools and simplifying the process and like making you see how possible it is. That's why Tamel in the beginning of this was saying, man, I got off that thing, went and talked to my wife, like we opening the school. So I really like to make sure if anybody's popping in or catching this later, they understand what we're talking about. How did you even connect with him in the first place? Okay,
so coming back here from Las Vegas, I was coming home at the family shop, and it was one of those things where, I decided I was going to go ahead and pursue barbering for real. And so the city of Murfreesboro, there are a couple of schools here. But I knew that my family actually employed. So they had already told me, hey, go up on the square. There's this lady there. And her place is actually still around now. It's a great place. Her name's Miss Paulette. She's an amazing person. But it was one of those things to where my mom was telling me, like, hey, because our families have intertwined for a real long time. And so it was, one of those like, hey, Chin, he's the one, he has a shop now and a school and this and that. And she was, just giving me the latest rundown because I was living in Vegas before I came here. So I wasn't keeping up with what Nashville and Tennessee was doing. And then I went and visited it. And, he had just told me, we caught up as far as like families and things of that nature, to where, he just told me, hey, this is a roadmap that I could see you going down, like, why don't you give it a shot? And so I did.
So you did what?
Oh, okay. So I decided to, so initially I went ahead and got into barbering. While I was there, it was probably my second day in class to where, and he has an open door policy as well as he's an open book. So as you guys saw him, last week, where anything that you were asking him, he was just giving you the answers and the blueprint too, so to speak. So that, like I said, it was like the second day in class and we were maxed out in that classroom. I knew he had another classroom down the hall that was full. The clinic floor was full. And then there were even a few students in the state board room where people, or the senior room where they prepare. And I knew what I paid for tuition, but I also knew what everybody else had paid for tuition as well. And so, I was just doing the math. And so I went straight into his office and, first I called my parents and I said, hey, I know the plan was to open up a shop. I'm sorry, not open up a shop, but, finish school and come work with you guys under the shop. But I just did the math and yeah, we need one of these. Like, this is what we need. To which then I went to Chin and I just started asking some of the similar questions that you were asking, as well as, some of the people that were in the chat last week. And I mean, he just laid it out. So what happened from there, I decided to, even my instructor, Miss Bruce, whom I work with now, to which she just recently received from BarberCon, when they came to Nashville, she received the teacher of the a lifetime achievement award. Oh, wow. But she'll attest to this, that the only thing I did from there was read nothing but business books or just history books, because I'm just a huge history buff. But that is all that I was doing. So I read more business books during that time while in school than I could think. Anything. Chin came up with this list, to which I still have the original paper 14 15 years ago. He wrote a millionaire's I forget the exact title, but it was like 20 books, to which he was saying, if you read these 20 books, you will become a millionaire before you die. And so I just started marking off the list, because I saw his work ethic, which is tremendous, but I also saw how little he was having to do physically as while running the school, right? He always had his hands in a bunch of things, but I was like, man, right now I am sitting amongst like $1.8 million and he's sitting down. Okay, I need one of these. So, so I went down that path, man. And, after I graduated, I was working at the family shop, and then I was also instructing. So I was doing that under him until the time came. And then, and actually before that, though, because I was already reading the books and things, it was time to take the state board exam. And to be honest, at that time, some of his students were passing, some of them were failing. But there was no there was a huge gap between those that were passing their exams versus those that were not, right? And so when I took mine on the first try, I scored a 98, right? Whoa. So out of 100 questions, I missed 2. And so I went back and I told him, and there was this lady, Miss Velma, that he was talking about, and she just asked, she said, hey, is the teacher doing well? Are the students just not acting right? And I just told her straight up. I was like, no. I said, it's not that she's not teaching them. I feel as though she's not teaching them correctly. Right. And that's honestly where the journey of my book and what it is that I do as Mr. State Board, that's where it started. Because then I was like, okay, I bet you one of the things that Chin said was, when you're trying to sell to people, what you do is you find a problem that people have, and then you create a solution and then make people pay for it. So that's what it was. I was noticing that, efficiency is a thing. Time is a thing that number one, is priceless. Number two, you're able to sell time because that's one of the commodities that you can't get back. Right. And so it's one of those things to where it becomes priceless. And that's just how, my company, Mr. State Board, it operates. We sell efficiency in the education realm.
All right, man. Hey, y'all cats in Tennessee, boy, y'all can talk. Y'all can talk.
After he asked you to share some more,
right? Yeah.
Don't let him. We family now, Thomas. We family, so don't let Don't let them
Put
punk
bread
you.
together.
You know,
Hey,
I was waiting for the gloves to come off.
Because we know he ain't no punk either. He was professional, but he got it. Hey, real quick. So you've owned and run schools by now and successfully sold schools too, right? We know this. Mm-hmm. Walk us through the biggest difference you saw between schools that thrive and schools that don't.
It's the instructors. Just to be completely honest, no matter where you are as a school owner, as long as, and this is for any aspiring school owners, no matter if we're talking barber, cause, whatever, the state board is going to give you a list of things that your school must have. They do not care about, like, you can have 1,000 students complain about your school. But if it's all emotion based, if it's opinion based, and the board can then look and say, hey, here are the 14 check marks that a school must have to operate. If you're operating in that realm, you're okay. Like you will not get shut down. And so what ends up happening is that, schools that aren't ran well, they say, okay, let's just say that the ratio is 1 to 20. So if they have 40 students, they know all I need is lights, water, cable, 2 instructors to cover these 40 students. Everybody gets a book. Everybody gets a station. My school can stay around forever, right? So it becomes places where when instructors are not being engaging, that's really what makes a school sad, in the sense of not a great one. But then, as far as schools getting shut down, it all comes down to paperwork. Like that's it. And that's a thing that the students don't get to see anyway. So that's that.
Why would one sell a school if Chin with the program is to help you to be more financially secure and making all this money? Why would one sell the school? Are they satisfied with the money that they made? They can live off what they got off the sale, or?
Okay, so for several reasons, actually. So for one, I feel, my opinion, that yes, the money that you make, the amount of work that you put in after the school is ran, it outweighs the money that you're making if you max it out. But how much work it takes to get to that point is very tiresome. Right? Very tiresome. And then honestly, it becomes certain things are stressful, right? So like I said, I worked with Chin for 7 years. Yes, we had 1,000 great moments, right? But there were also moments in there where, like neither he nor I can legally say on camera that happened, like to the school. And this isn't anything so much like illegal, guns drawn, stuff like that. But there were moments to where even the Department of Ed is sending a letter. There's moments where, these outside agencies, the IRS and things of that nature, want to know, like, well, hey, like he said, the tuition can go up overnight, right? And so the IRS will ask, like, well, hey, wait a minute. You had $7,000 last year. Now you've got $300,000. Explain that, like, in its entirety, and we're giving you 30 days to do so. Right? I remember there was a time where Chin and Ms. Velma were out of town. They asked me to open up this letter from the Department of Ed that they had been waiting on. Right? It was a bill due in 60 days. It was a bill for $190,000. Due in 60 days, right? Now, granted, Ms. Velma, when I told it to her, she laughed and was like, oh, okay, Thomas, that's nothing. But to me, I just put up a bill for $190, and that's where she was just like, no, it's just the cost. So that's it. You'll have some people who don't want to do the legwork, that want to, just find the shortcut, and they have the money to do so. So like, there are several reasons to where, and then lastly, you just might want to go into different endeavors in your life. So like, there's several reasons as to why a person would sell a successful school.
I would think that once you got it built up to where it's kind of running itself, it's kind of like having a house in the family's name that now you're just renting because it's going to, forever be in the name. You just still getting that residual income off of it. I would just think that would.
Not necessarily, because then also with your family home, no matter if your name is in it or not, What if the pipes burst? Right? Like, do you have to go do that, or are you like, can you manually do it, or are you paying somebody to do it? The instructors. So now you have a team, right? So now you're trying to manage that. If you there's the payroll factor of it. There's the stress of actually running $1 million business, right? You know, it's one of those adages like, you know, hey, you better watch what you pray for because God might just give it to you. Yeah, this is one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, you said you wanted 10 million. Here you go. Now what?
Hey, babe, we're not opening the school no more.
Hey,
Mama said no.
so you touched on something. We got Rondell Dean in here. He owns a very successful barber and beauty college out here near us in Stockton, California. And we're on the 23 school tour right now to promote our upcoming event. So we happen to be out there today. Shout out to Stockton Inspire Academy.
Inspire. Okay.
Yeah, man, they treat us well, and their leadership is amazing. And we're proud of him because he's one of our barber brothers. So we've seen the growth. And every time we go, we see the growth. But you said something that we seen today. Mm-hmm. Rydell has a dope team, but he said, I'm running like a chicken with my head cut off today. We had an instructor not show up today. Mm-hmm. And you just asked Tamel a good question. You said, so what happens? What happens? And you know that old saying, if you don't have it, you are it. If you're a business owner, if you don't have a janitor, you're the janitor. Right. You don't have security, you security. Whatever. You don't have an administrative person up at the front desk, then your ass is at the front desk. So I think for Tamel, I want to be transparent on where these questions are even coming from. So people tell me and Tamel what we should do together all the time. They're like, oh, man, y'all are amazing together. Y'all should do this and you should do that. We've been hearing that we should have a barber school, I will say, at least 7-8 years now. Okay. And we absolutely admire our friendships that we have with other leaders of these institutions. We admire it. And we would kind of talk about it. We've had meetings about it over the years. Nothing we put the gas pedal down on too hard. When Uchenni came on, Chen came on about a year ago, man, we got off this phone. We said, bro, it's time. But you know what? Yes. But you know what I really love about having relationships with people like you, Thomas, is it's not that you're shooting it down. I've become aware that everything looks good when you're not in it. Mm-hmm. You know, people see barbershops and they think I'm a millionaire, and I'm like, off of just the barbershop and you know, real estate, like all these things. And it doesn't mean you can't be. It's usually not that. And there's usually a side of it that's so not pretty that you don't see. So yeah, man, I just wanted to tell you where those questions are coming from, because we kind of always weighing it out, you know, and here you are saying, nah, man, it don't work that way.
So first and foremost, congrats, Brother Rondell, being on the school. Much success to you, sir. Never met you, but we're family. And so it's one of those things where, you know, I'm proud of you and don't even know you, because I know. And so it's one of those things where, yeah, everybody that can cook cannot open a restaurant, right? Like, that doesn't mean that you should. Now, there are some great moments. Like I said, Chen and I have thousands of stories and moments where everything was glamour and glitz and like everything was beautiful. And if you aspire to get a barber school or a cos school, like, by all means, go get it. I am definitely not a dream killer in no shape, form, or fashion. So, like, if that's what a person wants, go get that. But if you ask me a question, you know, I tell my students all the time, 2 questions. Number 1, how harsh can I be, right? And do you want the instructor Thomas answer, or do you want Thomas James the person? right? Like, and then I'll give you whichever one you want. It's like anything to where, like, you know, there's going to be some good days, some bad days, that sort of thing. So yes, you are going to work. And like you said, like you guys saw today, an instructor was out, he had to go get that, right? So then what would happen if his front desk worker and the instructor's out? Because what ends up happening is that, you know, the more money that you get, the more product / clients that you have, because the students become your clients. That's what ends up happening. And so, like, when you grow a school and now you have, you know, 40, 50, 60 students, okay, well, you have 60 voices that equally have the right to come to you about anything positive or negative, right? So that's your first thing. And then if you are an accredited institution, there's the Higher Education Commission, there is the accreditation body, there is the Department of Education, you know, there's all of that on top of whatever it is that you're dealing with. And then we haven't even talked about staff yet, right? So then that's that portion. And then that's just from 9 to 5. You haven't even went home to deal with home, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. But I mean, yeah, the check is going to be amazing. Like, I don't know if I put it out there last week in the comments, but I'll tell you, working with Chin, oh no, we got paid. Like, everybody was paid, and it was weekly, to the point to where that was another thing that helped me want to open, because I was like, I don't know what anybody else is getting paid around here, but I'm very comfortable. And I know in 6 days I'm getting another one. You know, he paid weekly. Jeez. You know what I mean? So it was like goodness, okay. All right, like, word. Like, there was no clocks to punch. There was none of that. Chin was.
But that's cool though, that you can still speak your truth the way you do, but still be able to say, no, we were successful financially. Bopper Brand says people don't understand the bills and stress that come with a school, especially with financial aid involved, etc. The red tape you have to go through and make sure everything is 100% accurate.
Yeah, like I said, we were, so I'll just say there's this one accredited agency, NACAS, it's NACCAS, and so they do their inspections, you know, all the time, and they charge up to $1,000, $5,000 for you know, like all of your like practicals that you would have to do, where you got to roll X amount of perms or whatever. So they're going to ask you for 15 folders, right? And they are going to, you know, they're going to ask for 15, and you're giving them the academics, the admissions, the financial aid paperwork for all of that. Like, if I have yours and every page doesn't have initials on it, every page doesn't have, you know, like the correct signature, everything isn't filled out, then yeah, they can charge you $5,000 a page. Right? And so, like, when I opened up that deal, you know what I'm saying, for $190, right? When I opened that up, it wasn't a threat to close the school. It wasn't. It was just like, oh, okay, we found this many, they're called limitations. We found X amount of limitations. For that, you owe this. Keep the doors open. Make sure everybody's happy. Don't change your format. We found $190,000 worth of mistakes.
Oh my goodness.
I got something from the clubhouse. How do you feel about them minimizing the hours as well as the exam only being written? And that's out here in California.
Okay. So
I know you know every state, right?
Yeah. I don't know Alaska. I don't know Rhode Island. You give me the rest of them and, like, we in there. Okay. So it's one of those things where, yeah. So as far as deregulation, I'll put all 50 states under, you know, just the category of deregulation. That has been going on since the beginning of time. There are actual groups whose agenda is to take everything that the government has their hands in, and they try to deregulate them to allow the people to have, like, more of their hands in it. So I don't ever think that the fear of knocking hours down will ever go away. Okay, because at least I've been in this game for 15 years now. Since I graduated, right? People have been talking about it. One of the groups is called the Beacon Group, BEACON. So, like, if you ever just want to find out who it is, the major player trying to deregulate us, they're called the Beacon Group. That being said, it's not just barbers and cosmetologists. They're after plumbers. They're after auctioneers. They're after contractors. Everybody. Okay, so I wouldn't get so caught up in the fear of missing hours. That being said, it being the test being only written. I have two ways to look at this. Number one, similar to how Florida, the state of Florida, they don't have a practical that's hands-on. Their practical is written, right? And so, like, it sounds like a difficult concept, but then it's also like, well, actually, if you can verbally tell me every step to do a thing, the market, and this is what happened when the state of Texas got sued, the market is going to tell whether or not you're a good barber or not. Like, the market will do that. The state board's job and your school's job is to make sure that you will not harm an individual with the tools, implements, and knowledge that you were given. But if you can't do a good fade, if you can't do, or if you're burning people's heads, with chemicals, then the market is going to push you out to where you're no longer a barber. So it's like, it's one of those things to where states do not want to get sued, from the sense of, like, just to give a quick history lesson here. So in the state of Texas, COVID happens, everybody's all jacked up, and then COVID is released and people are now able to go back to barber school, all of that good stuff. Well, what happened was the test, and this is why PSI as well as NIC, their tests are a lot easier now, in my opinion. So what happened was that barber students as well as cosmetology students were having a difficult time passing their state board exams, and so they sued. They were suing whatever Texas's Higher Education Commission is called. I forget that abbreviation, but they sued them saying, hey, we've spent $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 on school to get a job, and now this test is stopping me from getting my job, right? So the government was like, well, okay, look, PSI, NIC, y'all need to get y'all's crap together. Y'all need to figure out a way to where your practical is not trying to judge tapers with no guards to see how good it looks and what's blended. Your job by every state board across America is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the public. So you just make sure that they won't hurt anybody, and then or just Beacon Group. I'm not for sure if it's the Beacon Group or Beacon Group, but if you Google that, it'll pull up. Just type in a Beacon Group deregulation, and so what ends up happening is that, whenever they got sued, it was like, hey, you introduce these people to the workforce. So, like, it's one of those things to where I'm not for deregulation personally. I'm not for minimizing hours, but I also know that depending on how many you have in Tennessee, we're 1,500. There are some states, and at one time, I believe Pennsylvania might have even been like 1,600, and I forget who got deregulated down from 2,100 down to 15. I do feel when we get to talking about 1,800 hours, 2,000 hours, I do feel that that's a lot when the books aren't changing.
Right. So California is now 1,000 hours. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. And then the fact that they got rid of the practical. I heard you talking about Florida, how they made the practical a written practical. I don't want my doctor that does operations doing the written practical. I don't want my pilot flying planes doing a written practical. I wouldn't want my barber doing a written practical, because yes, we can do some damage and we can pass some diseases not knowing how to actually handle that. I remember being in the test room and a guy cut somebody and he was stressed out. He didn't know what to do. And then there was a guy that had dropped the tool and picked it up and went to use it. Yeah, they failed the test, but it's because that happened that they failed the test. Without those things probably go without being checked, and we get a lot of
but what the state's pushback is, the school should teach people how to do that, right? Like, I definitely hear where you're coming from, and to be honest, on a personal level, the more states that just do written only, it helps my business out, right? So, like, on a personal level, I feel one way, but it's still not to deregulate. Like I don't grasp why that's even on the table. I really, really don't.
I hear the backstory of that is these big franchises, the Supercuts, the Great Clips, is trying to get more people to come and fill their businesses because they're making a boatload of money paying hourly wages and doing 15-minute haircuts. And that is hard for these guys to get these licenses.
Yeah, they're definitely part of who's also backing the Beacon Group, and they're definitely one of those that are advocates for deregulation for their own greedy purposes. But I'm definitely one of those to where I'm like, no, man, like there has to be a happy medium somewhere, right? Even if it's go to school and then there's a certain percentage of your student career that you are an apprenticeship for X amount of time. Like there has to be, like the answer cannot be 0 or 1,000, right? Like it's something in the middle, you know, that needs to be there. I totally agree.
I feel that, man. So what I was listening to what you were saying about the state level of this, and sometimes it's hard for us to picture the reason, the purpose behind all this stuff. And I think you might have just helped me with my own perspective. The state is all about harming people. Preventing, right? So, you know, the practical things they're saying we're not worried about testing for all of that. We just want to make sure you have these things down that are going to prevent the harm. And so that I'm trying to understand, what do they benefit from? I like to understand the why. What does the state benefit from by reducing the hours? There has to be something, because there's
it's the money. T hit on it just perfectly. It's if I am a state that's part of a bigger union like the nation, and I get paid based off of tax dollars, okay, then and you're stuck in school to where you're not paying me tax dollars. Okay. How can I get money from you faster? And this is also why I tell people, especially people wanting to buy schools aren't going anywhere. Okay, schools aren't going anywhere because of the tax dollars that they're giving, right? So schools aren't going anywhere. Because if you think about it, like if we get into the conspiracy theory, Illuminati of everything, you got to think about it. Not only are schools giving huge kickbacks back into the government when it's tax season, but think of all of the accredited schools, the number of loans that are being taken out by students.
I didn't think about that. Yes.
To stop that big check from coming through. You know what I'm saying? So like when I hear of deregulation, I'm like, fight to push it, you know, but like, cause I don't understand it other than the money aspect, but no, schools aren't going anywhere. They are not going anywhere.
That makes so much sense.
Truly necessary.
Yes. Hands down, that it is one of those, you know how like it's only a couple of things that, or at least for me personally, it's only a couple of things that I actually do get upset about, right? Like outside of my family and my check, it's only like one or two things.
Thomas be about that dollar, boy. We learned that in Tennessee. Thomas be about that dollar.
It's two things. Don't mess with nobody whose last name is James. Right. And then don't mess up this check. Outside of that, I normally don't care what you say or do. That being said, I think it's highly foolish for people to say that a school is not necessary. Right. And the reason being is because what I think happens, and the mindset of people that push that, they went to a bad school or they were a bad student. Because that happens more often than people think, right?
Yep.
Even like the more popular people on YouTube, social media that are pushing this agenda, it goes back to, if you think about it, or at least in examples that I've seen before, when you have a person that's like highly successful and then you go ask their teacher how this person was, or you ask their parent and they're like, oh, he or she was all over the place. They were always, you know, doing this and that. I knew they were going to be something because they are always thinking outside the box or whatever. They're not good at rules and being put in a box. Well, a place like school, its job is to create rules and put you, you know, like not necessarily in a box artistically, but like applying some discipline to you. So when I see some of these more popular people, right, that are always saying why they think schools are bad, I'm like, honestly, man, like you were probably a horrible student. As being an instructor for 10 plus years, you were probably part of that problem. But like one of the things that one of the reasons why a school is needed is because even if you go the apprenticeship route is going to help you hone your skills and things of that nature, which is very well needed. But who's going to tell you how to identify a ringworm and how to identify lice and how you can see things that are either lesions that I'm not supposed to touch, or is this just discoloration that just so happens to be a part of their skin, right? Who is going to help you when it comes to introducing you to how do you open up shops, talk to you about professional image, you know, things of that nature. Like it's something about a school. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to get to the door, and it's one thing to actually go inside. It's one thing to start a race, and it's another thing to totally finish. And so I just feel as though like people who are saying that schools are not needed, one of my very first questions or the way I look at them is I wonder if they were a good student, you know, because chances are they probably weren't, or an instructor rubbed them the wrong way, or they didn't take that. I'm writing an article right now, like I write for AmericanSalon.com. And so like one of the articles that I'm writing for them this very moment is how continuing education is so much needed in our industry. And so it's one of those where when I'm talking to students, I say, hey, if your school is not giving you exactly what it is that you're asking for, like go seek knowledge somewhere else. You know, like it's a race of 1,500, but then like, what are you doing in that 1,500 time span? That's up to you, you know, and that's where you put it on the student, man. You're an adult or claim to be.
Well said. Yeah, me too. Go ahead, T. I'll wait.
Should we have to test to renew our license? And the reason I'm saying this is because of everything you just said. We are at our most knowing when we're fresh out of school. Mm-hmm. All that stuff, we ain't gonna remember. Like
I agree.
The elements and things we can pass on. The words, the verbiage. Mm-hmm. We asked Barbara now,
good point.
Where's the frontal lobe? They like, no. What's the name of the bone in the front of your head? They be like the forehead. They don't know. So we forget this stuff as time go on. Like when we go renew our driver's license after so many years, we got to take a written test.
I believe that should you have to test? No, but every state should have a certain number of continuing education units that you have to obtain. Every state. You know, and that's part of the article, you know, that I'm writing, to where, you know, no matter where you are right now, most states just make their educators, make their instructors go and get like 16 hours or 12 hours of continuing ed every 2 years. Okay, well then all practitioners, all behind the chair, you also need to be up on the times, right? Like, I mean, yeah, why would you not? I stress that importance. As you guys can see, I love the whole education talk. But yeah, there's no reason why, you know, you got your barber's license 15 years ago and you have taken no advanced education since you got it.
Yeah, we talk about continuing ed in schools all the time. Let me ask you this. Barbering, it's our time, man. Barbering is like the NBA right now. Barbering is like the NFL. Barbering is like the rap game. Everybody wants to barber. Kids are getting suspended for cutting hair in the bathroom at school. So it's that popular. We're on all the commercials. So I'm just curious. Do you think that with these lower entry rates, entry requirements, which are bringing more people into it, and we're pumping more people out of school into shops and salons, do you think there could be a point where we have too many service people to be able to have full businesses?
No.
Okay.
Because number one, just because a person goes into barber school doesn't mean that they're graduating, right? So like that's the first thing. And
But
then,
I mean, I'm talking about actually graduated. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can we let's look at the graduating?
Schools gotta have a certain graduation rate to keep their status, correct?
No, everybody does not have to have a high graduation rate. That is only if if your school is an accredited school, then yes. You know what I'm saying? Then yes, that is true. But if you're non-accredited, you're not held to the same standards. Okay. Now that being said, even if, let's say 1 million people graduate and get their license, next year, right? Number one, everybody doesn't want to be a boss, right? You will have some people that are perfectly okay standing behind the chair, and that's okay. If we have viewers that are watching right now and you're like, look, I know that I can get $50, $60 on every haircut. I don't have to answer to anybody. Booth rent is low. I'm okay with this life. You're fine. Like nothing's wrong with that. I'm not trying to shame anyone. But you have to understand everybody doesn't want those headaches. Everybody doesn't want those problems. So everyone isn't opening up a shop. And then on top of that, just because you open one doesn't mean it's going to stay around. Right. So it's like I don't think that there's any field to where it'll be too many people to where that we can't sustain where we are. And the worst thing that would happen is that haircut prices would drop because there would be too many people. But I think that in turn would make those other people not join anymore. Because the water, the water's getting too deep. So no, I don't think it's a problem for the number of people that are trying to join our fraternity at all.
That's good feedback. I was just curious because I see a lot of, and we don't have to dive deeper into it. I just wanted to share why. I just see, I have a lot of new barbers, new stylists, and I see a lot of them struggle. And, some of them feel like, oh, it's just so much competition. And I'm like, well, if you think that's competition, we go to schools, there's 60 more people getting ready to graduate.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's why I was just curious of your perspective. So that's
it's
pretty
always
good.
crowded at the bottom. Like, that's the thing. So like when you're first starting in any endeavor, it's supposed to be crowded. It's supposed to get hot, it's supposed to make a few people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to make you reevaluate your life. It's supposed to make you figure out, what it is that we're supposed to do. And then I'm going to wait those people out. And then I'm like, well, okay, shoot, I got a couple more people on my books. But, it's still a lot of folks that aren't hearing me, and that, you've got people on YouTube and you got, people on social media and things of that nature, that I'm trying to gain that type of following and all of that stuff, and then you're going to learn how to do that stuff. Right. And then while you're learning to do that, you're not focused so much on the part that was, making you feel some type of way. And so but what you're doing is you're just raising your own bar. Because then when you're on that level, you're like, you know what? I keep seeing these people at different barber shows. I'm going to go talk to them. And now you notice oh, okay, well, shoot, they're going to be, in California on, such and such date. And so now that I'm there, you see that crowd size gets a little smaller. And then that size gets a little smaller until, you look up and you're on YouTube with two of the greatest barbers on earth that have created the United Barbers Club. And you doing an interview. You know what I'm saying?
That was smooth.
You know what I'm saying? You just notice you what? It's too crowded here. Can I do, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to listen to Chin. A lot of people don't like him, but I've seen his house. I've seen his car. I want that. Okay, bet. What you say? I need to do what? I need to go down to Barner Brothers. Man, it's 60,000 people down there. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Man, go to some classes. All right, bet. I started going to different classrooms. That 60,000 of people that I'm rubbing shoulders and stuff with to get to the room, that shrinks down to 100. Right. And then it's like, you know what? I think I can do this now. Oh, okay. Well, then you need to go stand in that line. Well, it's only 10 people in this line. Right. And then next thing you know, once again, I'm here with you guys. Y'all are in California. I'm in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? It's just the three of us. Whereas barbers, you know what I'm saying? We're in the hundreds of thousands right now.
Man.
So, yeah. You're supposed to keep moving. Keep moving. Keep
Mr.
moving.
Stateboard, right? And knowing what you know, and I don't even know if you know these numbers, but on an average, how many of the barber shops or barbers are being compliant with state board regulations with their stations and their labeling?
Okay.
What would you estimate? You might not know the numbers. I don't think anybody really does. But if you were to estimate.
Okay. So I can give you a percentage more so than the actual numbers, because one thing about our industry, they're all state based, right? So it's not a federal agency. So there is not one place to where you can say, hey, tell me about every barber in America. Because like there's no place. Anybody, including myself, that says I can tell you what everybody in the country is doing. No, you can't. Like you cannot. Okay. That being said, I think the number of people of you're saying barber shops or schools. Hold on.
I'm saying barbers.
Okay.
You'll have a barber in there that's really dialed in. I know it's hard to answer this question.
But let them, because I've been watching this show. You guys are very transparent and you guys speak the truth and no lies. So yeah, let a barber chime in. If I'm speaking the truth, you can only get so mad when the truth is being spoken. Right?
Hey.
Okay, so like as far as barbers, I don't want to say that barbers are not taking care of themselves or being in compliance like they should. I feel as though the majority of people doing barbering are fully licensed, are in shops, that they are taking care of what it is they're supposed to do. But I know that, on average, it said that the last time I looked this statistic up, on average, 16 people will tell the same bad thing before they tell the one good thing, right? So like we're looking at a ratio from 16 to 1. And so I think that the handful of people not doing what they're supposed to do, that's traveling much faster, because all of us that are doing what we're supposed to do, there's nothing for us to talk about. You know, you sitting in the shop, you're supposed to have a license. There's no need for us to talk and brag about us having a license. But then down the street, you got this person and that person that aren't. And now everybody's talking about 2 people when the 30 of us are doing what we're supposed to be doing.
That's real.
Right? So that's really how I look at it. I really do.
Every year for us, I think it's the new list of regulations, just if anything changed. And I don't know how often barbers look at that list, and they actually give you a checklist to make sure that you're complying with your station and other things. And I don't know how many barbers know about that list, or until they get a fine, then they're gonna get mailed that list along with their fine. I think that's why I'm going back to, like, maybe we need a retest. It don't gotta be 100. It could be 25 questions, just a refresher. But I like your idea. I think we should have ongoing education that we have to report, or at least take care of, to keep our license.
I agree. Long shot. Yeah. I mean, because why not? Like you said, you get the list, and what happens is that when you create a field where you have continuing education providers, so like every year before I'm able to do my continuing ed seminars, I have to go before the state. I have to go before the state and give them my curriculum. Right. And so it's not just me. It's like 9 other continuing ed providers for Tennessee. In Georgia, it's like 100 of those guys. And like every state has their own, continuing ed providers. And so somebody, like, let's say if California decided to do that, to where every practitioner had to do continuing ed, somebody would decide that their classes are only going to be about laws, rules, and regulations. Somebody's going to make their class on nothing but fades, color, skin, nails, and then it's up to you to figure out, okay, what don't I know in this industry? You know, and it just helps. That's why Georgia, though I don't live in Georgia, I love their state board. I love their state board. I love Tennessee's as well. We're a front runner across America as far as, you know, just how swift we make laws that are really for the barbers. Georgia, on the other hand, the way that they provide their continuing education and make their barbers do it, and then they break down their barbers to where you can be a barber where it's called it's either barber one, no chemical, or it's just called a barber no chemical, to where you are clipper, razor, comb, brush, you know, like, and that's it. But everybody has to do continuing education hours, to which they even make 4 of those hours have to be towards first aid health. Right? Like, you can, they can make it work.
I think we need that. CPR, certified, all that.
That's pretty cool. I never heard of that. And we got barber friends out in Georgia. Never heard that.
Yeah,
man. You dropped some really big gems tonight, man. And we got this thing where it's like, it's hard to wrap up as much as we want to get out of one person in this little window. So we consider you a ongoing friendship that we're building, man. So I think people were getting good things out of it, and we should definitely look into doing another part of this, because you're full of info, man. We were in Tennessee, and I just want to say thank you for that hospitality again, man. What in the hell was the name of that place we ate at?
Man, Danny,
the chickens
at Zaxby's. It was Zaxby's. Honestly, like, and if Zaxby's is listening, this is nothing against you guys. So sponsor the United Barbers Club, most definitely. But we went there because that's where Danny wanted to go.
The best love Zaxby's.
Next time you guys come, I'm taking you out somewhere. Yeah, because like Zaxby's, man, my kids, we ate Zaxby's yesterday. Like,
I get you. But we had a good time. The hospitality there was just beautiful, man. We got that true Southern hospitality. And I just want you to know, man, we were really grateful for that. We talked about it afterwards. Like, man, he took his time out to break bread with us. It wasn't about the caliber of the restaurant or nothing. It was that time. That's your most valuable asset, man. And you cut out time. You found out we was there. I think it was on social media. He was like, hold on, man.
To his school. We coming to his school.
Yeah, but he didn't know at first though. Yeah, he found out and he was like, oh, hey brother. Hey, he started working it out. Like, we gonna lunch. We gonna do. So I just want to just thank you again for that. We, like Tamel said, we will be back this year. We'll give you more heads up.
Okay.
That masterminding we were doing at the table was monumental for us, man. You inspired the hell out of us, man. We never seen anybody do the kind of successful things that you had done on the educational side of this. So, yeah, man, I just want to say that. But before we roll out, is there anything within your mission right now, something you're accomplishing that you'll want to put out there right now? That, you know, just where's Mr. Stateboard heading? What's in front of you?
I have a question for you too.
Okay.
What kind of business do Thomas run?
I'm gonna throw all of that into it. So in short, man, everything dealing with the education realm of the beauty industry, I dabble in some capacity. I feel as though that I give instructor-based training to allow students to become more involved and engaged in everyday classroom situations, as well as the efficiency of passing their state board exams. So to Rondell, that's what I do in a nutshell. I found that the education realm either doesn't have quote unquote cool stuff in it or cool people in it, or it's a lot of shiesty individuals that are also in here, to which I feel as though I'm more than just regular cool, and then and I'm not a shiesty person. So like I've been running this lane for a while. And then before I continue, I want to say like y'all are good people. Like I appreciate you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like just both of you guys being who you all are. It's one of those things to where like you know when you're in good company and you know when it's time for you to get the hell up out of a situation.
Right? Really know.
It was one of those things to where when I heard that you guys were coming, it was one of those to where like I knew about you guys more so than I knew you guys, right? But it was one of those where I was like, oh, they're coming here? I said, oh yeah, they don't know it yet, but we're friends.
I love that. I love that, man. The way that's what you're explaining is how I felt.
Yeah.
I said, man, I like this guy's style, man. And then we got there and got down to some real stuff. And that was a power hour for real, man.
Yeah.
And you got a book or two?
So, what'd you say? What?
You have a book or two?
Oh, wow. It's funny you should say that.
Hey, if y'all ain't picked up on it yet, true hustler right here, man.
I don't know. I just so happen to have some just, right beside me, So, and actually, like I wrote down your school, Rondell. I'm gonna send a couple of these out to you, man. I'm gonna get your address and stuff. Through either Instagram or through the guys, and I'm gonna just ship you a couple, so that you can see. And matter of fact, like this will be yours. I'm gonna put. I do some stuff with Squire for schools to where like we have to talk about that another day. And then as far as what I do, I have on this card, Rondell. I'm gonna this one's yours. I'll ship this one out tomorrow or what's today? Tuesday, either tomorrow or Thursday.
Rondell, text me your address and I'll forward it to him. Well, actually, no, we'll just send you the school address.
No, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, because I mean, I love us, and so like anytime that I see that we are trying to do something, man, if I can be any part of the push, not the success. I don't need nobody to see anything. I just need you to know, and this is to Rondell and anybody else that I've ever just been in the presence of that's doing something positive. I just need you to know that somebody named Thomas is trying to see you win, and like that's what works for me, knowing like, hey, these jokers said that Danny said that they wanted Zaxby's. I don't care for it. She want them to see Zaxby's. Hey, it's 2.3 miles down the road. That's where we going. Like, that whole thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What was you saying?
I just want to say I have one of my good friends, Bay Beast, in here, who is an educator at Moeller Barber College. I would like to buy her a book to send to her as well.
Man, we're family, so like I'ma just send her a couple, and then like drinks on you whenever I see you again, and that's what we do.
Like ice water with lemon.
I prefer limes. You know what I'm saying? I got a little money now, so I switched it up. So I prefer limes or cucumber. You know what I'm saying?
I just sent Thomas Inspire. Babies, y'all are Moeller Hayward, right?
Okay.
Is it Hayward?
Yeah, they're in Hayward.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna send him yours too. I just want to make sure it's the one in Hayward.
Okay. Because, and I'll just tell you guys right now, like you said, like, I'm out trying to hustle and all this other stuff. I said, Lonnie, you ignored her. So like, I'm working a lot of stuff behind the scenes right now. So, I mean, of course, the book is doing well. I have the physical version, which you guys see here, and then I also have it in audio. I also have a digital version as well. So that's just the book itself. I also write for American Salon. If you go to americansalon.com, and you can just type in my name. You'll see the articles that are already there. I'm actually going to finish up one tonight. It should be published again like within this week. I'm lying. I won't finish that till tomorrow. It'll still be up at some point this week. I do my own continuing education seminars. So if there's any instructors who either need some stuff for teaching methodologies or you're wondering how to get into that realm, like I am, I'm a CE provider for like 9 states in this country. And then I have IBS, which is coming up, the International Barber, International Beauty show that's happening in New York. It's
irritable bowel syndrome. No,
see, that's one reason why they changed the name. That's one reason why they changed it. So they now go by Be Well, right? Because like it's hard. Like I know the clip where just then where I said, you know, I also have I'm doing IBS. Like that's gonna sound real ugly depending on when somebody joined the seminar. But International Beauty Show that's happening in New York in March, and then after that I'm going to the Hair Education Beauty Summit HEBS, which is going to be in New Jersey. That's a really big show. Then from there I've got I've teamed up with a book company. The best way that I can say it, you guys know the two big brands you have. I tell people that are new to this, there's Coke and there's Pepsi, right? It's like the two big brands. Well, in the beauty industry, you have My Ladies and you have Pivot Point, okay? Because of an NDA agreement, I can't necessarily tell you which one of those two that I am working with. Trust me, you guys will know when it happens. But the National Association of Barber Boards of America, I'll be one of the speakers there at their national convention that's happening in September. I will have it dropped as far as, what it is that I'm working on with that resource, to where it's not changing how a person takes their state board exams, but it's taking what I teach and how I've been teaching people to pass their theory and practical exams, and we're putting it on a international format. Like I said, it will drop then in September, and then after that, the very next month, the America's Association of Cosmetology Schools, I'll be a guest speaker there, to where that's a conference where just all of the school owners that are accredited get together. And so because my product is all digital, now we're just selling licensure, or I've teamed and did like a licensure deal with this big company. So that, and then of course BarberCon happening in Nashville. I got to go there because that's my backyard. So man, just a
lot, damn it, a lot, and hustling and pushing. I want to
you guys real quick. I want to spot. Yeah. That's just the stuff that I want to highlight.
Real quick before you do that. I want to I want to compliment your book.
Thank you.
Thomas's book, you guys, it's probably one of the easiest reads when it comes to just gaining knowledge on how to prepare for your test. You see how thin it is? It's not even just the size of the book. The reading itself, it's an easy read. I like the way he breaks the information down. I just think it's super digestible. That's been Tamil's word, digestible.
I wore that word out yesterday.
I think it's super digestible, y'all. So you definitely want to check it out, whether you're watching this now or whether you're watching it in the clips later. I loved the way he broke it down, and we have a lot of people, we're visual learners, so a lot of us, it's hard to stay focused with all of the text. It is super easy to stay focused in here because by the time you get through one area, it's like you can't believe you got it so good, and then you're already on to the next thing. So he did a great job with it. Great job.
So check this out. The thing that I was going to ask though is that like at the show that you guys have now, and then like the next shows that you guys are doing, I want to sponsor a couple of students. That's like the one thing that I want to do. Or so of is like because the company that I'm working with, they said that they love what I've been doing over the years, but they want to turn Mr. State Board into its own full-fledged like its thing. And
brand.
So I was like, okay, well then, how? And they were just like, well, you just take care of the giving back part and we'll take care of other stuff. So we'll find a way for me to sponsor a couple of students. And
easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. This is what I want to say about.
And we got more than that. We got more than that for you to collab with you.
Let's do it. I'm for it. So this right here is the new Milady's book that's coming out. If you guys haven't got it, like I get educational resources from Milady, Pivot Point all the time. Like both companies make me feel very, very special to know that I'm getting the drop, right? And so this will be the 7th edition if you guys haven't got it yet. That being said, everybody knows how many pages your Milady's books normally are. This one, they trimmed it down to $7.99, right? 799 pages. This is mine. Okay, so like what I did was, there we go. Hold on, take their brand out. There we go. So what I did was, this is your textbook here. This is my book here, and it's not even the same size as far as, you know, like length and width. And so what my book does, you know, as the guys were saying was, and what I have on the front, it's the fastest, most efficient and reliable source for passing the state board exams. I tell people all the time, this is not, this book doesn't give you the techniques and things you need as far as cutting and things of that nature. That's not what I sell. What I'm selling is your way to passing your state board exams. Just to name a couple topics here that I have, of course, the laws and history, decontamination, which a lot of people have troubles with. You know, we're talking streptococcus, diplococcus, that whole thing, sterilization, skin and nails, hair coloring, hair analysis, shaving, hairstyling, chemicals. And then one thing that I would emphasize amongst all instructors, make sure that you tell your students not just the everyday jargon of a word, but also make sure that they know what the scientific word is, because depending on which version of the test they get, their test might say, you know, pediculosis, their test might say lice, right? Like it might say, you know, tinea or tinea, depending on where you're from. It might say ringworm, right? But if your students cannot put those things together, then they're missing those. So like that's a section that's also in my book that just says, you know, after I was studying Milady and studying Pivot Point and studying Click and just studying all different books, I was like, man, y'all are all using different words. This is why so many students say things like, well, I went to a Milady school and the test was all Pivot Point. Like, I got to kill that myth. We'll have to do that another day, I bet. But it's one of those to where, like, whatever state that you are in, they are going to, whatever state that you are in, there's a guideline that they go by, to which they will tell you the books that they are actually using. They will tell you how many questions are going to be in each section. So it's not as though your state is heavy on one versus heavy on another. It's just that your instructors only taught one version. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's one of the things that I feel as though, you know, not separates me from the pack, but just being able to go through barber school where they were using one version of the book, and then I went through cosmetology school and they were using a totally different book, and then when I decided to become an instructor, they were using a different name brand book. So, you know, I was able to just put those pieces together. So
Real
that's
quick,
that, man.
You proved me right. You Tennessee boys, y'all can talk.
This is an idiot. Hey, you family now. You family, Thomas. If Tamil talk,
we broke bread together. Hey,
yeah,
I'm
you
like,
family.
bro, is he breathing?
Hey,
where can somebody get your book at that may be watching this later?
Awesome. So, in short, you can go to MrStateboard.com, right? You can go there, MrStateboard.com, MrStateboard.com. You know, and that's where you can get.
Let me explain this real quick.
For the comedy show, it's every Tuesday, 7 p.m.
No, don't put that. Hold on. No, you could have put that down here.
I love Thomas. Thomas know how to roll with it, man.
Put it on you. Now do it. Now do it.
One thing I want you to know is we appreciate your passion. You just messed up by making yourself so family that Tamil gonna go hard. But But hey, man, you are your passion is valued on here. People will dial in, man, and we appreciate it.
You try to scoot over to not be behind the words.
Oh, listen, that's what bust me up even more. I was like, Thomas is with this. Thomas, look, hey, look, my screensaver done shut off.
Yeah, right.
Our time limit.
Look, it's right there on my face. That's right there.
Oh man! Hey, you got to thank you in here, Thomas. I really appreciate your knowledge, man. So again, man, we can laugh and everything, but real talk, you deliver real knowledge, man, for us and the things we're considering, and the people that were in the clubhouse today, and then also, man, the people that are going to watch this evergreen content, man. You just blessed our industry, so we appreciate you, man, and just I can't wait to connect with you in Tennessee again this year. We're going to give you a heads up, and I texted you both of those addresses from the people we talked about.
Awesome.
Back sooner than later, bro.
Please.
I just love it. It's kind of like we gotta have like a segment, a longer show, and have a segment with like Mr. Stateboard where you can just game. People can ask questions, you just game them up.
Man, next time, man, like when we find out like where we're going to be, because we need to compare schedules, because I'm going to be out on the West. I'm not scheduled to be in California but I will be in Nevada. Well, I mean, that's my old stomping ground, so I will be out there a few times. And if you guys are ever in Vegas or, somewhere close, you know what I'm saying, then, like, shoot, we just going to take a day and, like, we can do some recording for a little bit. We're going to act up a little bit. But, like, let's, we can record first. You know what I'm saying? And do whatever. Yeah, scoot over. See? That's how it feels.
Hey, everybody, thank y'all for rocking with us on this Tuesday. We do this every Tuesday, 7 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, man. Shout out to all the schools we've been rocking with these last few weeks. We got more to come over the next couple. Thomas, much success, man. Much love to you, man. Thank you for your time, bro. For real, okay? Seriously.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
All right, y'all.
Peace, guys.
For the culture, for the culture, for the culture, 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 for the culture.